Hey, it's Danish from Local Niche Marketing, and in this video, we are going to cover how we can implement Google Consent Mode in high level or go high level. Now, if you are a business owner who is living in European Union and also using GoHighLevel as a CRM or as a website builder, then you need to implement these consent modes. Otherwise, it's not necessary. However, if you still want to implement it, it's a great way to respect the user consent choices. Now, what is a Google consent mode? Now, you can simply say that it is a tool that communicates user or visitors' consent choices, and based on these choices, our tag behavior is going to be changed. For example, if they accept all, like they are consenting to give us the data, then our certain third-party tags are going to be fired, and by doing so, we are going to track their activity. Now, it's a requirement, as we told earlier, for EU or EEA. Now, there are a few steps involved for implementing it in high level. We will cover it step by step so you can follow along with me. Now, first thing, you need to have a Google Tag Manager set up for your website or funnel. Now, the Google Tag Manager, we have already set this up. However, if you still want to see how you can set up Google Tag Manager only, I will show it real quick. Once you sign up on Google Tag Manager, you need to create an account by giving the account name, the platform that you are setting this up for, and container name. Once you do that, it will be created and it will give you some code, piece of code that you need to embed on your website header and body section, right? Now, in our case, it is already done. However, I will let you know how to get that code. Now, this is the code that you need to implement on the head section of your funnel. And the way to do is through by copying it and going to the settings of your website and implementing it in the head tracking code. The other one is the body tracking code that you're going to copy and then uh, im embed this on the body tracking code. Once that is done, you need to click save and your Google Tag Manager is good to go, right? There are, once that our first step is done, right? We need to sign up for Google Certified CMP, CookieYes or CookieBot or any other that is a Google Certified CMP. In our case, we are using CookieYes. You can use other CookieBot or other as well, but let's just use this for example. My site name is this for right? And we need to select the free plan because it will give us access to 5,000 page views per month. That is sufficient for our use case. The box, the banner, do you want it to be dark or a banner style like this or this? So we will select box. You are going to click next here. Now it's asking us to install the code manually on the website, or do you want it to install with Google Tag Manager? So we will uh, select Google Tag Manager, and then we need to go into Google Tag Manager, go to the templates. So we have already added it. We are going to delete it, and we are then going to create a new, sorry, go to tags, create a new tag, select from the template gallery, cookie, yes. So here it is. You need to add to workspace, add, and the template will be added to your workspace. Then you need to grab the website key that is available here. You need to copy that key and put it inside your website. Key trigger will be consent initialization, all pages, and this will be a CookieYes tag. Save it. Once that is done, we have done this part as well. Choose a template. We have done this part as well. Enable cookies overview. Right. So now you can see on this website, there is no consent mode applied so far, and we have implemented it. We are going to submit it, publish, continue. That's it. Then we are going to refresh it and verify. Sometimes it takes time to the banner for the widgets to appear. Let's just start refreshing it again. Okay, fine. So here it is. Now you can see this is appearing right now with the box that we implemented earlier. So if I click refresh again, so it's saying that you have successfully implemented cookie banner, take me to dashboard. Right, now here it is. Now you can see now the box is appearing here where all the choices can be customized, rejected, or accepted. You can click customize and click on toggle this on, and accept all. Now this is done, right? If I go into Google Tag Manager and preview this, you're going to see that you're going to see that based on the user choices, a cookie consent will be consent update is going to be fired, right? And you can see all the tags are currently firing, right? But that is, we need to change it. If we change the consent settings, it is going to be fired for this tag only because for Google tags, um, there are built-in settings, and I'm going to show later in this video what they are, and we don't need to update the consent settings for the Google tags. Now, if I go in there and reject all, you're then going to see another event is going to be fired. And it's okay for this. Reject all, and you can see consent update. And for consent update, all statuses are denied. And if I go in there again and accept all, then it will again fire the granted thing, granted consent status. Now we need to fix it that once the consent is updated, so our pixel event is going to fire with this event. So what we need to do is we need to create an event, custom event in Google Tag Manager that can allow us to fire our pixel event on the status change of the consent. The way to do is we need to create a trigger for this event, and we need to select it. Trigger type will be custom event, and event name will be this, right? All custom events. Once you do that, and we need to change the pixel. And first we need to go to our admin and we need to change our container settings to enable consent overview, right? And once we do that, you're then going to see uh, this icon over here, right? From here, we can update the consent setting for our tags. Once you click on that, you're going to see that consent not configured and all the tags which are from Google, you can see that they have a built-in consent for ad storage, ad personalization, ad user data. And we don't need to do anything to get the access or consent for these tags from the visitor, right? We still need to get consent for a pixel, however, which we are going to cover later in this video. First, we need to click on these tags and click on this icon and select no additional consent required. Because if you require additional consent, add required consent parameters, you can select it, but they are already built in, so we don't need to do this, right? Click Save, and all our tags will be configured for the consent. Still, we need to do it for Pixel. Now, for Pixel, we need to click on it. This is just the dummy data. Once you click on the tag, then you need to click on Advanced Settings and Consent Settings. Under the Consent Settings, you are going to click Require Additional Consent for Tag to Fire. We can add storage, analytic storage. Add storage will be good to go. And we also need to change our triggering from all pages to event that we just created for our cookie consent update. We will delete it and we will select event that we recently created, custom event. Click Save. And now what's going to happen, we are going to see, but so you can see all the tags that we have. So you can see here, additional consent is required, right? So this is how you are going to set this up for your third-party pixels or tracking tags. But for Google tags, you don't need to do anything because more or less they are going to track the user activity. Click Connect. Now you're going to see that how consent will change our tag behavior, right? And if I go in there, click Continue, tags fired, right? Consent update, tags fired, because we have already accepted it. That's why. Once we click on reject all, you're then going to see that tag blocked by consent settings, tags fired none. And if I go in there, accept all, you're then going to see that the tag was fired. And this is how you are going to respect the user consent choices or visitor consent choices if you are in EU area. I really hope you like this video. If you have, um, if you don't see this properly set up, you can comment us down and we will be ready to help you out, guys. And if you still need any help, you can contact us by just clicking on the links in the description of this video. Um, Thank you and see you in the next video. Thanks.